All right, y'all, so now I'm back, and I want to tell y'all, if y'all seen the last video, you want to see part 1 of this video, go up over here to this little ticket, go check the link in the description, and you can also wait to the very last end of this video to see the thumbnail to go see part 1 of this video. But part 2, I want to tell y'all about what happens when drill sergeants get in trouble for doing the wrong thing that they're not supposed to be doing. I'm talking about improper relationships. I'm talking about drinking on duty when you're not supposed to be drinking. And when I say improper relationships, I mean improper relationships with trainees. That's the main thing that sticks in my mind that I want to talk about, what I've seen drill sergeants get in trouble for while I've been on the trail. So one thing that happens, this could be one of the things that happens, or all of these things could happen when a drill sergeant gets in trouble for doing the wrong thing along those lines. So the first thing that's going to happen is they're going to lose their hat for the remainder of the time that they're on the trail. They get kicked off the trail. They're not a drill sergeant anymore. They won't lose their badge, but they have to take off their drill sergeant hat and put back on their patrol cap. That's one thing that's going to happen. Another thing that's going to happen is they're going to get taken away from their unit. They won't work at that same unit that they've gotten in trouble in anymore, especially when it comes to having an improper relationship with the trainee. Once it's suspected that a cadre is having an improper relationship with the trainee, they most likely won't move the trainee. They're going to move the drill sergeant from out of that situation. Sometimes it may not even be the trainee that gets in trouble. It might just be the drill sergeant. Sometimes it's both of them that gets in trouble. Sometimes an investigation, that's another thing that happens, is an investigation is going to happen. Sometimes an investigation happens and the drill sergeant just has to go away for a little while and then they end up coming back. But definitely there's going to be some kind of investigation where somebody's asking questions to certain people while they're in investigation. This is another thing that happens. Most likely they're going to be moved to battalion. If y'all don't know what battalion is, a battalion is the next tier up in our organization. When it comes to, you have your company, a battalion, a brigade, on up so far from there, your gear, all that crazy stuff. When they move to battalion, they're no longer working around any trainees directly. They're not working directly with any trainees. They might be doing some kind of paperwork or administrative computer work. They could be doing something along those lines. That's another thing that can happen. They'll go work a battalion. They don't get to be at their basic training unit anymore. Another thing that could happen when a drill sergeant gets in trouble for messing around with a trainee and having an improper relationship with a trainee, they might get an Article 15 or something. They could get a general order of reprimand. They could get something along those lines where they won't necessarily lose any rank or any money, but this incident will stay on their military record until forever. So they could get their money taken away from them. They could get their rank taken away from them and drop down a certain amount of ranks. I've seen that happen before. E6 get dropped down to an E5 because something happened with that cadre, a drill sergeant, and a trainee. And then they got to go back to the board and get promoted as an E6 all over again. That's one thing that could also happen. Like I said, your money gets taken away. And when your money gets taken away, because you're not a drill sergeant anymore, you get hit kind of hard. Just depending on what year you're in being a drill sergeant and if your extra pay is available for you for being a drill sergeant for extra long, that's going to get taken away from you. If you lose your rank, of course you're losing pay also because you're not that E6 anymore. You might be E5, so of course you're going to lose money with that. And it just looks bad, man. It looks bad. Another thing that happens when drill sergeant gets in trouble, everybody starts to find out, whether it's rumors or really true facts, everybody, all other drill sergeants and cadre, they're going to start talking about it. They're going to see you and they're going to know what happened with you, and it's not going to feel good. I know, because I didn't feel good knowing that my battle buddies got in trouble and that everyone was talking about them and stuff like that. Everybody knew. I didn't even feel good about that. So that's another thing that's going to happen, man. And don't let a drill sergeant have an improper relationship with a trainee and be married, because then they violated against their marriage. And the Army will even go so far as to kick a drill sergeant out of the Army, separate them totally because they had an improper relationship with a trainee. I've known a drill sergeant who had an improper relationship with a trainee, and that drill sergeant had a wife and a kid, and now they're divorced. They're not in the Army anymore. So like ultimate punishment. Really bad, man. Really bad. It's kind of embarrassing. It's kind of embarrassing. I've seen on different occasions drill sergeants that didn't get in trouble for having an improper relationship, but they didn't have a improper relationship while they were on the trail. I've seen drill sergeants, somehow a trainee got out of basic training, whether they graduated and went to the Army or didn't finish basic training and ended up going back home, somehow got back in contact with one of the old trainees at some point in time, having kids with them, getting married with them, and even stuff like that is frowned upon. It's just, I don't know, man. Some drill sergeants look at trainees like they're nasty. You know what I mean? Trainees, when they stink, they go out in the field, they stink, they're getting sick, they're passing around germs and stuff like that to each other. They just do weird things that they're not supposed to be doing. So it's, drill sergeants don't like turn their nose up at trainees, but I don't know. It's kind of like trainees kind of have cooties or something like that sometimes. It's a weird thing, man. Weird thing. It's all out of fun and games. But yeah, so I feel like some of the trainees even feel like the drill sergeants have cooties sometimes. I had a trainee, when I was walking up, some trainees try to call me 5-0, like, oh, 5-0, 5-0, because I was walking up. A lot of loud voice and words that went around that time when the trainee called me 5-0. So yeah, but just different things that happen when drill sergeants get in trouble, man. It's not really a good look. They can lose their hat, an investigation happens, they get moved from their company, moved to battalion, they start doing administrative paper, computer work, they could lose their rank, they could lose their pay, they could get extra duty. That's another thing that could happen. They get put on extra duty. And I will say, if a unit is a really good unit, which most of them are, they're good at things like this, the trainees never know exactly what happens with the drill sergeant. They don't know what happened. They may know, oh yeah, this drill sergeant and this trainee, something went on with them. They may know that, but what normally happens, how I can see it from the trainee's eyes, the drill sergeant was here, they found out that this happened with the drill sergeant, boom, drill sergeant disappears. And we, as I know with me and my company, made sure we never talked out loud and in front of trainees about what happened to this drill sergeant, where they're at and what they're doing. So I know it's gotta look like, that's how it has to look from a trainee's perspective. This drill sergeant's just gone and disappeared. And if it's a good unit and they're doing the good practices of not sharing that information, not putting the drill sergeant's information out there, the trainees will never know exactly where the drill sergeant or the cadre went. They'll just know that they disappeared, they're gone. So I'm sure they could put 2 and 2 together and say, oh, this drill sergeant is gone because this happened with this drill sergeant and this trainee. So, but yeah, I just want to get up here and talk to y'all about that. Part two of these 2-part series, I guess you want to say, why drill sergeants get in trouble while they're on the trail and what happens when drill sergeants get in trouble when they're on the trail. So thank y'all for watching. I just want to get this off my heart and chest. Appreciate your support, man. It's your boy Thurs Lynch. SFAM, stand up, salute, stay focused and motivated. Get motivated up in the gym one time. Deuces. Love y'all to death, and we out.